Welcome to the Hilton Head Living Podcast. I am your host, OT Gibbons. The mission with all of our content is to make sure you get the most out of your time in Hilton Head. All the best places to go, all the biggest events going on, everything you need to know, get the most out of your time on the island. I'm joined as always by the star of our content, my beautiful wife and co-host, Jessica Gibbons. How you doing, Jess?
Hey.
All right, on this episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about things to do this weekend in Hilton Head, all of the upcoming events in March that you need to be looking out for, our favorite new thing that we tried last week, and as always, answering the people. So, Jess, with that, why don't we talk about what's happening this weekend in Hilton Head?
Well, I'm going to start off with that Surge has their Community Strong VIP card for purchase during the whole month of March. And this is a pretty cool card because you can get 25% off food at any of their restaurants, 10% off of gifts or merchandise at their restaurants or stores, and 10% off at the Surge takeout restaurant too, which you take food home. They've already cooked, warm it up kind of thing. It is $300, but you also get a $100 gift card and to spend at any of their restaurants. And $100 goes to local charities, nonprofit charities, and $100 goes towards the Surge employee benefit. So something like their PTO or just to make sure their time is covered. So, which I think those are both really good things to contribute to. I bought ours already. So since we do go to a lot of the Surge restaurants, and we love them too. Some of the restaurants, there's Frankie Bones, there's Skull Creek Boathouse, Char Bar, which we love all of those. You can see all
Wise Guys, Poseidon, the list. They are, and I think it's important to contribute to to their employee benefit fund because it is one of the largest restaurant groups and businesses on the island. And if you love Hilton Head Island like we do, and you want to see businesses succeed and you want to see places grow and do well and this island continue to flourish, you got to take part in that. So I think it's a really good thing. They have a ton of employees that really, at the scale of their business, help make the island function.
Upcoming things for this weekend, a bunch of stuff taking place on Saturday the 9th. Start off with an oyster roast adoption event at Captain Woody's in Hilton Head, and it's for the Hilton Head Immune Society. So there's a dog adoption from 2 to 3:30, which we're always all about. Support them.
Support, but you're not allowed to go.
Yes. You can go love on the doggies for a little bit, give them some loving and maybe get them some treats and give them all my money.
Yeah, give them all the money, but we've already taken in a third dog. I'm not sure I'm ready for a fourth yet, so let's. Someday. Who knows? Oh my gosh, I know it'll happen at some point,
But they'll have raffle prizes going on all day long, and at 5:30 there's a 50-50 raffle of gift baskets that you do need to be present for, but it sounds like they have pretty good prizes there, so go check them out. It's from 2 to 6. Then also on Saturday, there's the old-fashioned oyster roast at the Gullah Museum. All-you-can-eat oysters for $50. At the Salty Dog, they're having a meatball throwdown. So I guess their chefs do meatball creations that you get to taste, and you get to choose who the winner is. And lastly, at Lincoln and South, they're having a cheese tasting and beer pairing, which is interesting because I know you don't really know, but it's usually wine and cheese pairings kind of thing of what wines go with what cheeses. So this is a nice little different take, although Lincoln and South does have wine too, just in case you want to know that you're not a big beer person. It is a brewery with wine, which is nice.
Well, and their bartenders are super helpful. I'm not a huge beer I like the occasional Bud Light, Coors Light here and there, but I'm not a, big beer person. But when we were there, the bartenders were like, I was just kind of describing my favorite beers. They're like, oh, you should try this. Oh, you should try this. And so I do think that that's like the perfect place to kind of have this event where they're so knowledgeable. They're going to be pairing stuff up and it's going to be awesome. So that should be really cool.
And the cheeses are from Vermont. and South Carolina. And that's because the owners are from Vermont. They moved down this way, who super nice, very cool people too. And then on the 12th, we talked about it briefly on the last podcast, is the St. Francis wine dinner at the Old Oyster Factory from 6 to 9. Tickets are $85. And it's a 5-course dinner with wine, and you can reserve your spot on resi.com. Lastly, this week, slightly next week, is Wine Down Wednesday on the 13th, which I went with my mother, your mom, last year. A lot of fun, especially since we were still fairly new to the area, and I don't think I'd really even been to any of the places in the village of Wexford where it takes place. And you get to stop in each shop. Most of the shops, not necessarily all, most of the shops participate. They're open late, so it is from 5 to 7:30. And like Java Burrito participates, all the stores gifted. The balsamic oils place that I love participates, and a lot of places too have little appetizers that usually the shop owner has made. They usually have bottles of wine, they'll pour you a glass. Some of the places have other things, like Java Burrito has margaritas. And the Cowboy Chop House there, they had a liquor drink too. And it was cool because like I probably will never eat at that Cowboy Chop House just because it's tons of red meat. I don't really eat that much red meat. But it has a really cool vibe there. When you walk in, their bar area is very modern, very cool. And they had, I think, a chicken salad kind of thing, not even meat stuff. So we had a great time. And it's only $15 too. And it benefits Meals on Wheels. So it always goes to a charity. This year's Meals on Wheels. Definitely drank more than 15. I mean, one glass of wine is $15. So I definitely had a good amount to drink. You had picked us up, or at least picked me up. And I think it was kind of obvious I'd had a good time. I think you even texted me and be like, are you ready yet? I think it was definitely 7:30, maybe even a little after when we were ready to go home.
And don't worry, I do love red meat at mass quantities, so I will check out that Cowboy steakhouse for everybody and give you my thoughts. And then, have you tried the Java Burrito margarita?
Yeah, I had one.
Have you ranked that? Is that a pretty good one?
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty good one. So it, like I said, was a year ago. It was our first drink because that was the first place you sign in, you register right in front of, at least last year, it was right in front of Java Burrito. So we just went right into Java Burrito, had a margarita. It was definitely good. Yeah. A lot of people have said that's one of their favorites too. So
nice. Sorry, I have a guest for the podcast. Zoe's just decided to camp out in my lap at the moment.
Well, that's okay. We always have dogs under the table. Colt's underneath me. Here,
sorry, yeah. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you'll see this dog pop its head up occasionally. She's just laying on me right now.
Next is Hilton Head events in March. Starting on the 16th, a bunch of stuff going on. I know it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, but Pulsology has their annual Golden Egg 5K run walk in their Buckwater location. And then there's a Bluffton, a golf cart parade and block party on the 16th. And lastly, the 16th, that weekend, is Irish Fest in Hilton Head. So the 16th, Saturday, is the free concert in Low Country Celebration Park. And then on Sunday is the parade that also starts in Low Country Celebration Park and goes down Pope Avenue at 3 o'clock. And a lot of the shops and the restaurants are going to have St. Patrick's Day drinks, deals, whatnot going on. And then the last St. Patrick's Day thing we have is a shamrockin' scavenger hunt at the Salty Dog in the morning at 8 a.m. On the 23rd, there's a pop-up cooking class at Charlie's in Hilton Head restaurant from 11 to 2. You'll be making she crab soup, beef Wellington, and a salted caramel pie, which sounds delicious. It is hands-on cooking, and then you get to eat it afterwards, and you have 2 wine pairings with it. Tickets are $165. There are only 9 spots, so that's why I'm bringing it up now so that you do have time to reserve your spot, because I'm sure those will go quickly. Also on the 23rd is the Spring Shop Hop at the village of Wexford, where the Easter Bunny will be there, and you bring the kids to take pictures. And Wingfest is finally on the 23rd, also at Low Country Celebration Park. And you can get tickets online, $10 for admission, or they have ticket bundles online also. And there is a pre-party of Wing Fest the day before at Lincoln and South. On the 24th Sunday, there's Harbortown Spring Fest, which again, the Easter Bunny will be there and you can take pictures with him. And then the 24th to the 30th, the Hilton Head Wine and Food Festival, one of my favorite festivals. Can't wait for it. They have stuff happening all week long, but the main event is Saturday the 30th from 12 to 3, and tickets are $75. Well worth money. You do have to buy food. They have food vendors there. You do have to buy the food there, but lots of wine. There's also beer. There's also liquor. Good time. On the 28th, there is music and taste at Shelver Cove Harbor Marina is back. It's the outdoor concert series that will take place every Thursday. So it's back again on the 28th, and it's different bands playing live music. It's great to take the kids, and it's a lot of fun. Then some stuff happening in Sea Pines for Easter. On the 30th, you get a personalized Easter pails and portraits and the bunny trail rides in Harbortown. And on the 31st, there's an Easter egg hunt. And we'll provide more details and more information on each event as we get closer to it.
All right, so with that, let's talk about our favorite new thing that we tried last week. What was your favorite new thing?
I went to St. Augustine in Florida. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from Hilton Head. Very easy, basically just down 95. It's the oldest city in the nation. And it was a lot of fun. We packed a lot of stuff into, it was basically like 50 hours. We went to Flagler College. There's fort there. There's just so much historical information. You can do tons of tours. They have one of those trolley tours, which I always love doing those. It gets you around a lot easier, or just saves you from walking, which on the last day we had already done a ton of walking, so it was nice to just take that from one place to another.
Saves her from walking. She came back with ankles like this big. She had walked so much. So like, yeah, they did a lot, obviously. Just she was tired.
The trolley tours, they also give you a lot more information too, especially if you're not doing a tour at that specific site. So they always give you some fun tidbits. And we also then went to, there's a beach there too. There's a national park, walked up the lighthouse, and there's really good restaurants and food there. I would highly recommend it. There was St. George Street, which is super picturesque. It looks European. It's like a European cobblestone street that cars aren't allowed on, with lots of shops and restaurants. It's super cute. Would definitely highly recommend.
Would you say that this is more of a, hey, we're going to go here and do this like historic sightseeing? Or is this more of like a, hey, we're going to go because it's a great beach town? Like, is it kind of your classic beach town, or is it more
It's more of the historic. It's the downtown part is called the historic district. So I would, and especially we didn't necessarily do that much of the beach because we live at the beach.
Right.
But a lot of people were there for the beach. I mean, it's still it's off season,
right?
End of February. So we didn't explore too much of the beach since we lived at it, but the national park was pretty cool. And there were people, you could see there were people on the beach. We walked down this really long pier, fishing pier, and you could see there was still definitely people on the beach.
Maybe like, would you describe, it sounds like maybe not quite as family friendly, like with the little toddlers as like Hilton Head is, or is it still like?
No, for the beach part it is, and there was actually a lot of school tours. I know that's more like elementary school and stuff, but there was a bunch of school tours.
Okay.
So it's definitely still very family friendly also. And so what was your favorite new thing?
My favorite new thing that we tried was Cactus Cantina, which is a Mexican restaurant right up on Main Street, right at the entrance to Hilton Head Plantation. And it was delicious. They had this really great like taco menu where you got buy 2 or buy 3 tacos, and you had this whole selection of chicken, steak, shrimp, coconut shrimp, all kinds of different stuff. All the tacos that you would imagine. And they had this whole flavor palette already created for each one with all the sauces and everything else on them, and it was really good. The French fries were also like kind of shockingly. I didn't even know that they would have fries, but they did. Obviously, she got them, and the French fries were amazing. The chips and salsa was great. Um, I will say they were super helpful when you walked in because the ordering system's like a little bit different. Like the menus are right to your right when you come in the door. They're in this little shelf thing, and you grab it, and then you go get in line for the register. You get up to the register, and you place your order and whatnot, and then they will actually, you go sit down, and they will bring your order out to you. There's like a bar, there's a couple tables, there's a little bar area against the back wall you can sit out. You can sit outside. It was really, really cool, really nice spot. Really enjoyed it. I will definitely be adding it to my lunch rotation, as you all know. Big lunch person, so it's definitely made the rotation.
And they had a large menu. We just got tacos, which they had a lot of different ones you can choose. I did like that you could get 3 different ones. Usually it's all of the same ones. They also have a lot of quesadillas, a lot of different burritos. And we went for lunch, so we need to go back for dinner so that I can have a margarita. I need to try out their margarita too.
Yeah, they had some bowls that just had like the meat, some healthy looking bowls. They had burritos. They had all kinds of different stuff that you could check out. So it was definitely a nice spot. There was a couple spots up there that a couple more spots we need to go check out as well. But that's a new one. And we were excited to go, and it was great.
It was delicious.
Okay, so as always, we answer the people. The question we have been getting most frequently this week is things to do for couples. So let's talk about it. What are some of the best things we've done as a couple and tried on Hilton Head Island?
So one of our kind of date night we actually did for our anniversary last year is we went to the rooftop bar because they always have live music. And that night it was a Blink-182 tribute band that we went to see. And that's, being from the 90s, 2000s. We went there. We had a great time. We did have dinner underneath at Poseidon's first and then went up there. And on Thursdays at the rooftop, they have dueling pianos every Thursday. So that would be a fun thing to go to. We've seen the dueling piano guys. It wasn't at rooftop, but we've seen them. They're a lot of fun. They're really good. Very improv. You give them the songs sometimes, and they'll be able to improv off of each other. Definitely worth seeing. Another one that we've done is the Comedy Magic Cabaret, which is very unique. We didn't know what to expect, but we had a lot of fun. It laughed a ton. Great magic stuff. I was actually chosen from the audience to be a participant in one of the magic tricks. It's a very small venue, and so it's more intimate. Every seat is a good spot. You can see the stage very easily, and you can get dinner there too if you want.
And it was like a comedy show.
Like I said, we laughed so much. We laughed hysterically. So that was a lot of fun. Unique. I don't think that many people know about that here, although it was packed, so maybe more locals know about it. But I think that would definitely it sounds cheesy, and like I said, we didn't know what to expect, but it's great. It's very good.
That was definitely my first instinct when I heard about it. Was like, man, I'm gonna try it. Like, what could this possibly be? But it was great. It's not what you think. It's really, really fun. I would highly recommend.
And it was a rainy night too that we went, so it was like, what else are you gonna do? And it was much more fun than just going to dinner.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun. And during nice weather, you can go to Lawton Stables, and you can either just do horseback riding, or there is a horse and carriage ride, which I'm signing us up for. This sounds very romantic. And Sea Pines, going through Sea Pines is very pretty, and you go through the forest preserve is very pretty. So we're going to do that, whether you want to or not. Another thing that I have done, not with you, but it would be a good date thing, is a cooking class at Michael Anthony's. And they have cooking demonstration ones, and then they have actually hands-on ones too. Like I know there's pasta making ones, which you probably really like. And then you also get to eat the food, and you get some wine while you do it too. And you can also, on their website, it shows you for a couple weeks, there's usually some type of topic of what, like I did the lemon one, so everything had lemon in it. And they tell you what you're making or what they're making, so you know if it's something you want to eat or not too, because that's not good to go to a cooking class and then be like, I don't want to eat this. So. But another one that I want to do, which it's on a boat, so I need somebody else to go on a date with. It's Nude does a hibachi sunset dinner cruise. So it's a hibachi, which you love hibachi though. So they have the whole setup on a boat. It looks like a lot of fun. Tried their shrimp fried rice at the seafood festival. It was delicious. So I'm sure the rest of their food would be really good. Another thing on the water are creek cats. So they're like two little boat things. There's just two people that sit. It almost looks kind of like rowboats, kind of thing, or the paddle boats, kind of like those paddle boat things, but I guess it's electric. So another thing I need somebody for a date with. And you could spend a nice day on the water, just the two of you and stuff, and have nice conversations. That's all I have. What do you suggest?
Yeah, so the first one that stands out to me that I think would be interesting is actually something that she did with my sister, but I think it would be really cool if you were a couple is the Adventureland stuff. You could probably speak to more about what there is there, but I know that the videos they've got, they're zip lining, they're going through these like crazy tree forts in the sky, like really unique experience and something that'd be really cool as a couple to go do.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot more kind of bonding, especially if somebody is nervous about it, which I went with Bree. She was very nervous. So, helping her get along, you're kind of doing it together kind of thing. So, or even from the ground, they were cheering me on while I did the little bit harder stuff. So it's a great bonding experience. And then the zip lining too, that's a lot of fun. And it would be a great day date. And then you can either go to Up the Creek is a restaurant right next to it where you can get a percentage off if you go to Adventure Hilton Head.
And then I think Chronic Golf and Games is another great one. She's just learning how to play golf. So playing golf holes is a little bit difficult, especially like during the peak season when there's a lot of people out there. Like just the speed that we can play at as I'm trying to teach her isn't great. And that's nobody's favorite to kind of hold up the course. And so, there's the driving range, but sometimes they're pretty crowded and you're worried that you're going to shank one and hit somebody or something. And chronic golfing, or you just want to go at night where they've got a bar. And so it's not all about the golf. And actually X Golf is like this as well. Chronic Golf and Games is like this, where it's an indoor golf hitting bay where you can learn. And then if you get tired of the golf, you can, at Chronic Golf and Games, if you get tired of the golf, you can do zombie dodgeball and you can do hockey and football, and really, really cool spot and just overall really entertaining with the bar.
And that's the zombie dodgeball, and they have like circus games you can play together too.
Another one that's great is for the entirety of our relationship and marriage going on 20 years, I've always gotten crushed in the gift giving. I'm not a great gift giver. She's amazing. But this past year, I got her. We went to the art center in Shelter Cove to go see Clue as a date night for her birthday. She loves Clue and she loves the movie. And it was fantastic. And I'm not a play person. This is not my thing. I typically hate this stuff. But I'm driving by, I see the sign, I'm like, that's her favorite movie, we gotta go, this will be a great gift, I'll be able to get her this year. Lo and behold, it's one of the best nights I've had on Hilton Head, just super, super fun, really great experience, cannot recommend it enough.
And there's so many restaurants close by within walking distance. We went to Santa Fe, which is on the other side of the highway even, and we're able to walk over, so you can have dinner beforehand and then go to a show. I think Chicago, they're going to have that coming up soon. I don't know if it's in the summer, but I definitely want to see that too.
And then the last spot I would suggest is in Sea Pines. You could go to the Sea Pines Beach Club. I think that would be a really cool date night spot for a couple, even if you're not staying in Sea Pines. It is a little tricky to park in there, but the view is just 10 stars. They've got good food there. They usually got somebody performing there, some kind of music going on. Good vibe, great view, really good spot for, especially if you only have an hour while your kids are gone or something. It's a great spot to go check out.
Yeah, they have the bottom part coast too for eating, but then they also have the Ocean Lounge up top, which is a little bit nicer and has a little balcony with very pretty views up